This is Daryl Andrews, Coach D, Chief Passion Officer for Daryl Andrews LLC and Associates. We are a global training and development consulting and coaching firm. And for some of you who may not know, we have offices in Delaware as well as in Florida. So just wanted to take a moment to talk about a free event we have coming up. And I'm making it free because it's not long. It's only about an hour or so, but I'm making it free because of the need to continually have conversations around this topic. All right. And let me tell you what I mean. I give an example why. I was doing a training for an agency, and it was quite a few trainings we were doing, and it was good training. We had a great interactions with the people, and they learned a lot around particular topic we were training on. And one of the attendees walked up to me and said, um, I wish that my boss could be in this workshop. And I said, why is that? And this wasn't a post-pandemic leadership. This was another topic we were focusing on. He said, because she kind of still talks to me like things were before the pandemic. She's insensitive. She drives you to do things with no care or consideration for your personal situation. She was even like that during the pandemic, even though we worked from home, where she would drive you and grind you and push you. And we were all stressed and full of anxiety, and she showed no care or compassion for it whatsoever. And she said, I'm really seriously thinking about quitting because I don't want to work in this environment anymore. And that person's story exemplifies why leaders today need to understand that model of leadership is dead in this generation. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's gone. If anybody out there with me that's watching this and agree, type in the chat feature. If I see your response, I'll put it up so that people can see it. But that style of leadership is gone. All right? That may have worked pre-pandemic, but people have been through way too much for you to do it post. Now, let me clarify something. I'm not saying that a leader shouldn't lead. You got to lead. I mean, it's your job. And sometimes you're going to lead, and it's not going to all be roses and pat on the back and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes you got to get the job done. So what we're saying here is, yes, let's get the job done, but let's do it in a different way when we talk about working with people. Let's make it more inclusive. Let's make it more getting their input on some of the things we're looking to do. Let's make it more speaking to them like adults, not children. And I'm always amazed to see that. Like I've employed people with my company for years. I've never, ever talked to anybody that I've worked with like they were a child. How can I get up into the face of a full-grown adult, even though I'm playing them and they work for me, and talk to them like they're a 2-year-old, even though I expect them to do adult things? See, I'm just breaking it down for those of you who are trying to figure out what I'm talking about. Leadership is not exercising control over people. Listen to me. Leadership is guiding people, governing people, and influencing people. Just keep that in mind, please, because we've kind of forgotten. I'm going to type it in the chat just in case, That's what it is. And one of the greatest challenges I see with post and a little bit pre is we place people, okay, into leadership positions that aren't ready to be leaders. They've never been taught. We talked about this before. It's the truth. And so what we've done, in essence, is we're taking somebody that was skilled at a particular job and say, oh, God, they're really good at it. Let's give them 20 people to manage. And then they flop miserably managing those people. They were a good salesperson. That doesn't mean they're going to be a good leader of salespeople. They were a great teacher. That doesn't mean they're going to be a great school administrator. You know what I mean? They were a great marketing person. Don't mean they're going to be a great marketing executive, especially if you're not going to equip them with the tools for leadership. And so what typically happens is a lot of times people will put people in positions and just basically say, go for it. And I think that's terrible. I think that whenever you place a person in a leadership position, there should be some type of mentee relationship, peer mentor relationship, where their leadership skills are being developed through some type of course, some type of reading, and some type of monitoring. Because I'm saying that because the biggest complaint I see in the workplace is how leaders treat their employees. I see it over and over and over and over again. I've been in some trainings where I've had to let the leader know, you have me here to talk to your employees, but your employees aren't the problem. You are. It's the way you interact with your folks that cause them to interact with you in a manner that you don't feel too comfortable with. And so this is not putting shade on leaders, but I just don't think a lot of people know how to lead. I think a lot of people know how to manage, but I don't necessarily know if they know how to lead, because leadership is a skill within itself. And so we're doing this free workshop in a week and a half. I'm going to pop the information here. If I can get it. It was there. Let me see. Okay, got the link. See if I can get it pop in there. If you want to join it, just register. It's only for an hour. And there it is right there. Click on that link. And what it'll do is, that'll take you straight to the registration page. And we're going to spend an hour just having a real in-depth conversation on some of the characteristics of the post-pandemic leader. Because what I'm realizing more and more is, and I'm writing a book on it as we speak. That book should be out in July. I'm really grinding. I got 2 books going on at the same time. I have the self-care movement book going on and this book going on. I haven't written a book in 10 years. Being a father, being a husband, I said, I got to take time for my family. I've written like 8 books, and I was like always writing and always. And I said, man, I got a wife and kids. And so I took a break from it. Now my kids are in college, about to graduate. Some have graduated, one in college, and my baby's doing well in middle school. So I'm writing again. And my wife is doing her thing and rocking it in her space. So we're good. So I'm writing again. But I'm writing on 2 topics that I think are of critical importance. That is post-pandemic leadership and empowering self-care in the workplace. All of these, both of them, impact cultures of organizations. And so, I would love to get your thoughts on leadership. Do you feel as though leadership is based upon titles, or is leadership based upon the way you lead people? Some people out there think it's just title. Oh, so-and-so is the leader because, we may have been given that title, but the question is that person qualified to lead? In post-pandemic, you can't take that risk with this ongoing challenge with getting good people to work for us. So many people out here starting businesses, millions and millions of side hustles. It's competition now. People are still trying to figure it all out. Well, just look around you. Come on, you got kids on Instagram making more money than we adults are making on full-time jobs. And people are looking at all of this and they're saying, the reality is, and so the reality is that we got to understand that times have changed. Times have changed. They've changed. And so in order to be effective today, we have to change. So join us for this workshop. It's free on post-pandemic leadership. We already have some folks already signed up. I don't care if it's 5 people or if it's 500, we're going to dig in. And I'm thinking about bringing some special guests in. I don't know. We'll see. But the reality is that here's the deal. We can no longer do business as usual when it comes to leadership. It doesn't. You know what I mean? Because, and again, there's the link for the registration. Because here's the thing. If we continue to lead the way we've always led, some point down the line, there's a good chance that our work is going to become somewhat obsolete. People are more independent now. People are more entrepreneurial now. We need to know how to lead a post-pandemic people. Some companies are being more flexible as far as people having businesses on the side, because most folks do nowadays. And we can't be saying to them, well, you can't put any emphasis on that because you got to put all your emphasis on us. And then that will say, okay, well, then I'll go with this other company that will allow me to. All right, because they're already making money. I know some young people are here now, they got jobs and make more money on their side hustles than they do their jobs. And not just young people, but adults. How do you lead that person when the job is not about security for them? They make more money than they do on the job. They do the job because they love the job. Okay, or they love the line of work, or they may, hopefully love working for the organization. So check us out. Come take a peek at this. Again, it's next, not this week Friday, but next week, I believe, Friday. And we're going to break some things down. I think they're going to be extremely helpful as it relates to understanding post-pandemic leadership. And bring your team, bring some folks with you. It don't matter if you're in corporate, if you're school district, it's going to be enlightening. All right. We look forward to seeing you there. Take care.